Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Creating Hanley. My name is Kimberly here at Creating Hanley, and in today's episode, we are making flowers. But this is just creative art. And two things gave me this inspiration today. This book, of course, if you're following along on my A Year Full of Stars 2, this book has been the star of the year. I wanted to do this block right here. If you have the book, it's on page 245, and it's called Whimsical Bouquet, and it kind of looks like ice cream cones rather than flowers. But I liked the idea of just cutting out these little circles and just appliquing them on. So just top stitch them on. No fussy. You can fussy cut if you want, but no like piecing together, no getting the rulers out or anything. But we are going to do some drawing with these jars. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing with this. But this was one of my inspirations. I wanted to make this, but I wanted to do it my way. So if you see here, to me, it looks like ice cream cones. Not the Dutch basket, although I was going to make another quilt block sort of like with this. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. These look like ice cream cones. I don't know. It just looks like an ice cream cone to me. Now, it says whimsical bouquet because it's supposed to be, I guess, a flower in, like the plastic stuff that you... I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I kind of liked it. I just like this flower part right here. I didn't like all this stuff. So, I'm going to sort of do this, but I'm going to do it my way. And then another inspiration for this... Today I was driving home from work and I listened to a TED Talk. So I don't usually listen to the radio. I listen to podcasts or TED Talks or something like that. And this one came on that I want everybody to watch. This lady's name is Amie McNee. Amie McNee. She does have an Irish accent. This is a TED Talk. The title is The Case for Making Art When the World is on Fire. And I want you to read this. I don't know if you can see this this quote. I'm going to see if I can blow it up for you. Making art gives you agency in a world where we have little control. Creativity is our power to enact change. Artists bring order to the chaos. So let me read that again. Making art gives you agency in a world where we have little control. Creativity is our power to enact change. Artists bring order to the chaos. And this is really poignant right now. So this speech was on April 25th, 2025. I believe today is April 28th, 2025. So go watch this TED Talk. So it's TEDxManchester. And this lady is very poignant. She's an artist. Well, not this.
Really successful fiction author. She writes...
Anyway, it's this lady. So this lady speaking right here, she's wearing a coat that looks like she made. So I was thinking, hey, is that one of, like, did she quilt that coat? Because it's floor length and it's really awesome. So I was thinking maybe, or if she didn't make it, maybe one of her artist friends made it or something. But anyway, I thought that was really cool. So it gave me this idea of, so go watch that TED Talk. It's like less than 15 minutes, right? So you know the title already. The Case for Making Art When the World is on Fire, I think. The Case for Making Art When the World is on Fire. Amie McNee, TED Talk, Manchester. Okay? That lady right there. Go check her out. And it gave me, I'm going to turn this off now. It gave me permission. Now, you already know I've been doing this about 2.5, 3 years now without getting paid from YouTube. I got no subscriber. I don't get any income from this right now, as of right now. So I'm just making art, basically. And sometimes I think, why do I keep doing this? It's a lot of work, trying to put out content, make these blocks. And I think because I want to, because I like it, because I love it, and because I like doing this, and it's creative, and it gives me an outlet from, the stress of the world. And I think other people need that or do that same thing. And maybe some people want to learn how to quilt or, learn how to sew. Now, I'm not a seamstress. I don't sew clothing, but quilting is my thing. So, or at least making flimsies, like quilt tops. I really love doing that. Binding, maybe not so much, but quilt tops. So this, like right here. So this is art. This is art, guys. This is art. So anytime you make a quilt, if it's not to keep your buns warm, then it's for art, because it's a creative outlet, because you love to do it. Even if it's challenging, right? Some of these blocks, I think, oh my gosh, it's just so fiddly. And I don't like fiddly. But I do it anyway. And it usually turns out really good in the end. So what we're doing today, this is a long-winded, thing to say, go watch that TED Talk. But it kind of gave me permission to just create today. So we're making these bouquet of flowers. We're making this field of flowers right here. And these are not sewn down, and I didn't even put a needle through them or put a pin through them. So just want you to see, all I'm doing is making circles. And I took my pinking shears, and I know we hate pinked edges, right? But I took my pinking shears, and I'm cutting these circles out of scrap fabric. So that's all, and I'm just cutting the curve with my pinking shears. And then I put like an outer petal on the outside, an inner petal on the inside, and then a middle where like the bees go, the nectar, right? Now, what I thought would be really cool is if you guys have buttons. Like if you have buttons, you can sew buttons on the center. Or if you have even fancy like bee buttons, that would be really cool too. Something like that. So you're asking, what are you doing with these jars? So what I'm doing with these jars, let me get the book out of the way, is I am taking some fabric. Now these are fat quarters right here. So I'm just using scraps, fat quarters, and yardage. But I just go to the back and I take a big jar, let me back up. This green is 12.5 inches. So I used my 12.5 inch Omni Grid, and I just cut that out of yardage. So it's 12.5 green. I liked it because it kind of looked like grass or, in a garden. And then I was just going to put these flower circles on top. I also found this scrap in my stash, and I'm cutting leaves out of this. So I'm just freehanding, drawing for leaves. So all I do is I take my number 2 Sharpie pencil, and I just freehand like what I think a leaf is going to look like. Like so. You can barely see that. I just freehand what a leaf is going to look like, just like this shape, and then I cut it out. Not with a pinked edge, but with my regular shears. And I just follow along that drawn line. Does it have to be exact? No. But that's what I'm doing. And here's my little leaf. And then I just put this somewhere. This is not exact. You can make up however you want it to go. But you're just going to throw that little leaf in there, maybe over here. Somewhere, right? Boop, just like that. Okay. Now, what I'm doing is I took 2 jars. I like these size jars. This fits inside there. I also like this little old pill bottle. This fits on the inside of that pretty well. And then I took this little jar too, and I'm using the circumference of this for the inside of the petals. So I made one that's just a straight cut, and then one with the pinked edges. So I just found like this tan color, and that's what I'm doing. So let me show you. I just take this. Now, do you have to use the whole jar? No, you can just like use that if you want to, or you can use this part, but I have enough crap around here. I'm just going to try to keep everything in one piece. So I'm just going to do this. And I also have my chalk if I'm doing a drawing on a darker fabric, but I'm just going to use my number 2 pencil on this light side, on the back edge of this pink, and then so that you just draw that line, just like that. Draw the line. Now, I'm going to take my pinking shears and just cut along that drawn line. Am I being super precise about it? No, I'm not being super precise about it. So, I mean, I want it to kind of be a circle. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but I can't even see that. I don't want it to be like too wonky. Okay, I'm going to cut right here because cutting on that is driving me nuts. So now I have a little smaller piece to work with, and I can control that a little bit better than that big fat quarter. So I just cut right along. I mean, you don't need to see this. You know how to cut along a line, right? Boop, just like that. And there's a pink flower. And I'm just going to place that, I don't know, somewhere. I don't want it to be in rows. So I want these to overlap a little bit. I want some green space in here. I don't want them to be all neat and orderly because flowers don't grow like that. So I'm going to take this one, this lighter pink color, and I'm going to do a smaller circle. So again, just placing that, the circle, the circumference that I want, I'm going to place that along the fabric. Make sure it's not hanging over by accident. And then just take my drawing utensil, draw all the way around it. And to make things a little bit easier, I'm just going to cut out this square. And then I can pink around it. Do I have to use the pinking shears? No. I just think it adds a little bit of fanciness to it. And then what we're going to do after you get all your flowers cut and placed down where you want them, just like that. Did you see that? That's super easy, right? You can see that. That's the flower. Then what you do is you top applique. So you just top stitch. So just pick a straight stitch, and if you want to get super fancy, now this is going to be tedious, but you find colors that match your flowers. So if you want to keep it in a colorway, like maybe shades of blue, that's going to be easier because you can use one color top stitch. But if you're doing like this and you really want to like make it super fancy, you can add different color. So this is yellow, so I'm going to use a yellow stitch. This is purple, I'll use a purple. Here's yellow. I'll use the yellow maybe on all of these, including the orange. And then if I have a blue, look, I have this green variegated. That might be pretty cool. You can maybe just use that on the whole thing. You could use white if you want to. Whatever you want to do, it is your project. Art. Make art. So all you have to do, super easy. Figure out, so this is a 12.5-inch field of green. You can use whatever color you want. You can have a white background, black, it doesn't matter. Black would be really cool. And then these would pop off of that. In fact, a lighter color, well, vibrant colors would work too. Do I have black around here? Vibrant colors would work for sure against a black background. Here's a black background. Vibrant colors would pop. Yep, they would all pop. So you could use black, you can use whatever color you have that makes sense for you. You don't have to use colorful flowers. If you just want to do black, white, and gray, that's fine. Neutrals. You know, a certain colorway, if you want to do all red, it's up to you, whatever. It's art, it's yours. And then you just top stitch them down, and however you put, if you want like this to overlap, if you don't want them touching at all, you can do that. If you want them, you know, kind of snuggled up under each other, oh, that's fine. Have fun. And I'm not going to show you the top stitch because I'm not finished with these. I might add like 3 more, or maybe I'll add 6 more. I don't know yet. And am I going to vary the sizes of this? Yes, I have another jar here. Maybe I'll make some a little bit smaller, throw them in the middle, throw them in the corners. I don't know. But I picked all of this fabric. Check it out, guys. I went through my stash and I picked out all this salmon, orange, purple, blue, red. I don't even have red on here yet. So I got a lot more to go. But I wanted to show you that TED Talk. Go watch it right now. And then come back and do this. All right, you guys. Have fun making these flowers. I'm signing off for now. See you on the next video. Have fun. Have fun. Tell me how this goes. Do you have to make flowers? No. Can you do hearts? Yes. Do you do kitty cats? Sure. Dog bones? Whatever you want. Just make it yours. Okay? I just felt like today was a nice, beautiful spring day. Flowers are blooming. And so are these. All right. See you on the next episode. Bye for now.